Good evening and welcome to Injustice Investigations. I'm your host, Al Scott. I am probably about 6 minutes late. Please forgive me. I was trying to get some audio set so that I can play for you all this evening. So I deeply apologize for that. But nevertheless, I am here. And as always, it's good to see all of you here tonight. I see Lisa Flemings is in the house. 777 Me is in the house. Nia is in the house this evening, as always. Brother Rich is with us, as always. So I'm probably not going to get a chance to get to everybody, say hello to most people for the sake of time. But please do not take it personal. I see is that Felicia Clark is in the house as well. Good evening to you. I think I spoke to Miss Rich. So, Dana Hudson is in the house this evening. Good evening. Welcome, love and big time. Thanks for tuning in. I saw a post earlier where a comment earlier, someone said they was from Houston, Texas. I don't remember that person's name, but welcome. I think you hear all the time. I guess I know you was in Houston, Texas. Tracy Taylor is in the house. Good evening to you. Tammy, always 100%, never ever fake, is in the house this evening. Love you big time. It's always a pleasure to see you. Miss Thomas, good evening to you as well, and welcome to tonight's live broadcast. Faith, good evening as always. You're always here. Where's what you be on a Tuesday night, but hanging out with Mr. Scott. I love you big time. Okay, we have a lot to discuss, but I know we won't get to it all. But Brooklyn Savage is in the house. Good evening to you, Brooklyn. There is a lady's name. I'm not going to call her name yet. I'm going to in a little bit because I was ordered to call her name today. A Powers 100, I salute you too, and I love you big time. And I appreciate your genuine support for this show. I think you've been with me since day one. Hot Pink is here to keep law and order. As always, I love you. I appreciate what you do. Thank you kindly. Okay, listen, today, someone called me. Answer the phone, like always. Investigations, this is Al Scott. Tammy Baker, good evening. Welcome to tonight's broadcast. So I answered the phone, and it was a lady on the other end. And she said something to the extent, I may not get it right. She said something about, I just called to let you all know I got my card, I have my card or something. And I'm like, okay. And so after a few seconds, I realized I knew the lady on the other end. And so I called her name and she laughed. And she said, "Oh, Mr. Scott, I dialed the wrong number." Miss Jackson, good evening. Welcome to tonight's broadcast. So, and we laughed, shared a few jokes about it and stuff. But someone interrupted the conversation between me and this lady. And I hope I'm right. I think she said he was 10 years old, I think. He interrupted the conversation to say, "Tell Mr. Scott I said hi." And so I asked for his name. His name is Ishmael. So Ishmael, as promised, if I give you my word, I'm going to back it up. I told you I would send a shout out to you tonight. I love you big time. I thank you for watching the show, as always, with your mother. And his command to me, it said, "Say hello to my mother when you're live." Well, I am going to say hello to his mother. I'm going to do that. But I've said hello to his mother many a nights during my life. She's even called in on the broadcast when I call her name. You all say, "Yep, she has." Someone just popped up, Louise Royal. Good evening to you. I think I spoke with you the other week. I think you're the one that had a good question about it was a school thing. Was that you? Because it was a wonderful question. Okay, so Ishmael, as promised. Good evening, Miss Monica Thomas. I called her name. Ishmael. I don't know what else to do. I called her name. Love you big time. I appreciate both of you. Miss Rory says yes. Give me a call tomorrow. I want to know if you worked on any projects pertaining to the school issue. So sometime tomorrow, time allows you to, please give me a call. Okay, I had to do that. I had to get the shout out to Ishmael and his mother, Monica Thomas. One night she called in. I forget what the subject was about, but she took us to church. She had us putting our church shoes on and stuff. So I love you big time. She's been a big supporter of this show from day one as well. So again, I love you. Thank you for your genuine support. Tonight, I'm going to go to my hometown for a minute. Shreveport, Louisiana. And it's where I'm at right now. I don't know if the meeting is over, but Caddo Parish School Board was having a meeting. And the meeting is to determine whether or not Caddo Parish schools will open on time. Well, I want to address that. And it's simple. I don't know anyone in his or her right mind that will be contemplating sending their child back to school in the midst of a coronavirus pandemic that is continuing to rise, not daily, hour by hour. 2 kids in Florida was pronounced dead today because of the coronavirus. For children who have to wear a mask in school, that's not going to work good. It's just not. They're going to be popping masks off their face all day long. I want to play with little Bobby. I want to play with Johnny. I want to play with Karen. Then they're not going to be still. Now, the powers that be, school officials, insist they need to come back to learning. Yes, they need to learn, but not at the expense of you using my child as a dummy. And you cannot guarantee my child will not come home infected with the coronavirus, or he or she will be taken to the hospital because they have coronavirus. I said it the other night. Donald Trump and his people and some Republicans are putting the economy before lives. School officials all over the United States. But tonight, I'm directing this message, especially to Caddo Parish School Board. You all got to be out of your righteous mind to even meet to discuss whether or not to open up on time. I don't know if you received the email, but there is a virus, and it's called coronavirus, and it does not discriminate. It goes wherever it wants to go. It lands whenever it wants to land. And it's always, you can't rush it out. You can't rush it out. You can't. It leaves when it leaves. Even some Caddo Parish teachers that I know personally are making out their final arrangements, because basically they see it as I'm walking to my death. And that's what's going to happen. Your social distancing plans, that's wonderful. But wonderful will not save my child from the coronavirus. I don't know what the rush is to get kids back into a classroom. Teachers and educators, you are some of the most trusted people in the land, because you look after our kids, you educate them. You get them ready for college. You get them ready for their career. The last thing I would expect coming from school officials is whether or not to open up the schools, in-house schools. My advice to you all is to find other resources to teach the children. They can do online classes. Come on. I've said this 100 times. There's always a choice. There is always a choice. Kids do not need to be entering into Caddo Parish schools. No schools, period. But tonight is personal. I understand that you all have a need. You have an agenda. But we're not going to let you play Russian roulette with our kids' lives because you have an agenda to fulfill. And you'll say whatever is necessary to say to try to assure the people in Caddo Parish, the parents, that their children needs to come to school and learn, and they're going to be safe. They need to go to school and learn, but they're not safe. They're not safe. Felicia said exactly. They're not safe. They're not. People love their children, whether you believe it or not. When teachers are making final arrangements, that says a mouthful. That says a mouthful right there. They'll go because they love their children, the classes that they teach. They love their children. They love them. They chose this profession, but they did not sign up to die. When you sign up to die, that's when you become a law official. Or you in the military. That's when you sign up to die. They didn't sign up to die. It's appalling that all of you would sit there and debate on whether or not to open the schools up. It's appalling. It's ridiculous. It's outright despicable and diabolical for you to sit there and play Russian roulette with our kids' life. Now, to some of you parents who say, Tammy always says that I can understand why anyone would think that it's safe to send. Oh, she cannot. Exactly. I don't know. It's just not safe. It's just not safe. That's just the bottom line. Online classes, we can do. We can do that. Now, again, for some of you parents who said, I don't have a choice but to send my child back to school. That's a lie. That's a lie. There's always a choice. You may not like the choices that you have to choose from, but there's always an option. We went through this the other week when Miss Louise called in. If you have to go to work, I understand that. I'm not mad at you. Call somebody. Somebody in the family has to be able to teach. Somebody in the family that can teach has to have some free time on his or her hand to help educate your child. Now, when you send your child to school because you said you did not have a choice, there was not a choice available, those words will come back to haunt you until the day you die if your child gets infected with the coronavirus. Now, you can sit here and be super stupid if you want to, but the end result you will not like. And you cannot blame the school. You are at fault. You sent the child back. They're making a suggestion. You carried that child. You helped make that child. You have a moral responsibility to make sure that no harm comes to what you created. Or are you like Brittany Bowens? Give a life just to have a life taken. They need to be educated, but they also need to be able to live and enjoy life. It's just as simple as that. You may not agree with me, but you feel me just the same. It's a death trap to send your child Back to school. We got Lysol. Yeah, and you still got it. You still have it. Some of you just want to get the kids out of your hair. And I tell you what, that's going to work well for you. They're going to be out of your hair and out of your life for good. For good. Not to mention what the Centers for Disease Control said today about children and another virus that was life-threatening. Life-threatening. Little Johnny just touched the glass. Little Johnny put the glass right there. Here comes Tyrone. He just won't sit down. Tyrone picks it up. Tyrone don't know, and little Johnny don't know that Johnny has coronavirus. You know the end of the story. You know the ending. Good evening, calling you live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from tonight?
This is Carolyn Roberts calling from Bellflower, California.
Miss Robinson, how are you this evening?
I'm doing a lot better. How are you?
I'm doing great. What you got?
I just had this conversation. I'm launching a talk show, and I interviewed two teenagers, one 14 going into the 10th grade, and my own child who is 16 going into the 11th grade. And it amazed me that the girl child, I'm not going to say her name because she's a minor.
Okay.
Yeah. I asked her how does she feel about going back to school. She said, I feel fine because I don't think this is real to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to lie, I wanted to slap the hell out of her. She said, I said, okay, you don't think that this virus is real. She said, why? I said, why? She said, because viruses can't last more than a week. This isn't real. I said, okay. So her mother was here as a co-host, and she said, well, are you willing to give up your life to find out if it's real? And she said, yes. She said, yeah. I said, so you be one of those people at them pandemic parties, betting to see if you get it, to see if it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother has died on the table 3 times already. 3 times already because of a brain surgery. And I'm like, what if you were to bring this home to your mother? I said, well, how do you feel about wearing masks? She said, I don't think that wearing masks is smart. It's stupid. You can smell your own breath. It's not good for you to inhale your own breath. What's your breath stink? And I'm sitting here like, this can't be real. You know, this is a joke. It's very serious. I said, how would you feel if you accidentally killed your mother?
How old is the child? Miss Robinson? Hello?
Hello?
How old is the child?
She's 14.
She's 14, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of the response that you're getting from the child, I expect. Because their children. They don't know. And sometimes the answers will be ridiculous, but I guess it goes back to what Bill Cosby said many years ago. Children say the darndest things,
No, it's certain people, and the way you train them. Because my son was in the room with headphones on. I will send you a video. It's unedited. He was in the room with headphones on and could not watch or couldn't hear this young lady's answers.
Okay.
He came out and I asked him the same question. Now he's 16. She's about to be 15, so there's not that big of a difference in age there. And my son said, no, he doesn't feel safe. He said, you have to be stupid to want to go back to school during the middle of a pandemic. He said, as far as socializing is concerned, that's what FaceTime is for. That's what video games are for.
Exactly.
That's what these things are for. He said you have to go back to the Black Plague. Though that virus lasted for years, you have to go back to the Spanish flu, hence the word flu, which is a virus. It's been around for a long time. He said if you're going to be a butthole and be selfish and not wear a mask for other people, at least wear one to protect yourself. Now, this young lady is now listening to him, and there's a totally complete contrast, completely different contrast. He said that this is a problem that adults and kids aren't at least follow the guidelines. I asked him, how did New York do? How did they get to where they got the plateau to where they're able to send some of their kids back to school? What should we do? He said, follow New York's example. Stay in the house. Shut everything down. He said most people would love to be at home. But I understand, he also understood that some children get abused. He said, call a family member. Call someone to get you out of the situation, but don't put others in danger by sending them back to school.
Carolyn, wow, that's I applaud him for that. I do. That was well said, and I guess a lot of that credit has to go back to who raised him, and I know you're doing a fantastic job. But I forgot you have just recently started a podcast, didn't you?
I am starting a talk show, and that was our first episode filming.
Okay.
I need equipment, so we haven't posted it. You know, it's raw, but I will send you the video, and your mouth is gonna drop because she's nonchalant, and this is why we cannot get anywhere. This is why we can't go back to school. And this has a lot to do with the parents talking to them, letting them go out to visit friends, letting them do things that they should not do. And I expressed this to her mother while she was here as my co-host.
Exactly. Would you like to give the name while we have you on air? You're more than welcome to do so.
Yes, it's going to be real life, real time, real talk. I'm working on launching hopefully next week if I can get the proper equipment to film. But we need to start asking some hard questions.
I agree. I totally agree.
Especially about going back to school. The teachers are quitting. I don't mind teaching mine from home, but I am also a parent that actually has the luxury and does it anyway, regardless of if I had the luxury or not. Working 3 jobs, he was being taught at a young age.
There are, I don't know if you can see the comments, but there are a lot of comments. A lot of people are agreeing with things that you're saying. One lady said, she just said that the other day. So as always, Carolyn, I thank you for calling in. And if you need any help in getting things up, I think you know what to do. And tell your son I say hello, and Valerie as well.
I will indeed. Thank you. And we'll be sending you something, yes, because we do need help with some equipment. Smart.
I am here with
so
you.
I'll send you our GoFundMe.
All right, send it to me. Enjoy your evening.
You too.
Bye-bye. Okay. Wow. Very smart answers. Okay. For the sake of time, we're going to move on. Back to Shreveport real quick. And then we got coronavirus and 2 cases that I must get to tonight, because both of these cases, as someone said, had me 38 hot. Shreveport, Louisiana. It's a war zone. We're in a crisis. Not many agree with me about Shreveport being in a crisis. When you have a shooting in Shreveport almost every day, sometimes 2 or 3 shootings a day, that's a crisis. I don't know any other way to look at it. When you have a shooting, I think a drive-by shooting this morning, send 2 people to the hospital, and then a few hours later, you have another shooting in Shreveport. That's a crisis. That's a crisis. When I'm inside of my home and I hear shots in the back of us, that's a crisis. That's a serious crisis. And we must not, and we will not blame Shreveport Police Department for what's going on. As my good friend Robert Thomas from the Real News Behind the News always said, for the most part, the police officers come after the fact. We cannot blame the chief of police. He's probably at home resting. He's probably asleep. He has other things that he has to do. It seems like we want to blame everybody but the ones that's doing the shooting and the killing. This is sad. You'll get shot. Your chances of getting shot by a police officer in Shreveport are slim to none. Your chances of getting shot by a citizen in Shreveport, pretty damn high. Pretty high. A lot of times, innocent people catch a bullet. A lot of times, innocent people that catch a bullet, they die. We must put the blame where the blame is at. When there's violence in the mind, there's always going to be violence on the street. Black people, a lot of us don't know how to be emotionally intelligent. So we come and we interrupt somebody else's life just because we angry. We thought we got played. I don't like this person. I don't like that person. But when you deal with retaliation after retaliation, if you look that word up, it's ongoing. It doesn't end. He retaliates. He retaliates. It goes on and on and on. We have to do something. And we have to do something extremely fast. Everybody has a fight. Some in Shreveport are fighting for the removal of the Confederate monuments. I ain't mad at them. That's their fight. It's just not my fight. My fight is for violent crime in the city of Shreveport. I'm working with some people behind closed doors. I have a project that I'm going to present to the leaders of our city. Hopefully they will agree with this and help me execute it. Basically, we have to aggressively address what's going on in the city so that we can take back our neighborhoods. I spoke with a lady the other day about her brother being killed in Shreveport. Crime still unsolved. Spoke with her for about 20 minutes. Somewhere in the midst of the conversation, she broke down and began to cry. Talked about all the people she had helped in life for things such as this. But now no one is coming to her rescue. Some label her as crazy. But truth be told, all of us got a little craziness in us somewhere. I don't think she's crazy. I think she loves her brother. And I think she demands justice for her brother, and she needs to get that. For the next 2 weeks, you're going to see me in every neighborhood in Shreveport, Louisiana. I hope you welcome me with open arms. Give me a glass of water, because I'm sure it's going to be hot out there. But I'm coming. I'm coming to where the majority of the shootings are occurring. I have a plan. I'm going to speak with the residents in Shreveport. If I sit here and keep pointing fingers, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike is not doing anything to address this. Okay, well, I can't address it on Facebook. I can't address it on YouTube the way it really needs to be addressed. So I have to become the change that I want to see in Shreveport, Louisiana. And I'm tired and I'm fed up. You all would turn in a thief, and that's good. But you all would turn in a thief before you turn in a murderer. And that's sad. And then you blame the police for not solving the crime. But if they don't have anything to go on, and you have something and you won't give it to them, blame yourself. Blame yourself. The lady I spoke with the other day, she has a program she started a while back, and I think she let it die for a minute, but we're going to help her get it back up. Basically, it's called Flush Them Out. Flush them out. You got to go. You got to go. You just have to go. You're walking around Shreveport carrying a gun, probably not licensed to carry it, and you don't have a badge and a gun to carry. And you will shoot somebody at the drop of a dime because a pistol gives you that courage to do that. But if you had to fight like a man with your fists, you couldn't do it. Probably never had a fight in your life. You're a punk. You're sorry. You're insignificant. You need to be put away for a long time. If you know something, it's imperative that you open your mouth in Shreveport, Louisiana, and you say something. But if you know something and you don't say nothing, shut the hell up. Because you're part of the problem. Simple as that. And I don't want you to look at it as, what if it was somebody in your family? That's the wrong way to look at it. I want you to look at it as doing the right damn thing. This is ridiculous. A few minutes before our time, Miss Ferris called. Mr. Scott, they just had a shooting on the Cook Road. What the hell you say? Really? This is sad. And you wonder why revenue is dying in the city. You wonder why people are leaving the city. Some are going just over the bridge to Bolshevik City, where they don't play that bullshit. Them cops over there, black, white, male, and female, they ain't playing. They're not. They have their issues. They have their murders. They have their crimes. But Shreveport is in a class by itself. If you know who did it, call me. Email me. Your name ain't never got to come. I know who to give it to. I will take that bullet because I'm going to turn you in. I'm going to turn you in. When you don't turn somebody in for shooting or killing someone, do you know what you just did? You just let a murderer remain free to execute somebody else just because they got a gun and a finger. And you have the audacity to talk about, I got to leave Shreveport. It's terrible. You're right. It is terrible with you in it. So leave. Kids cannot go outside and play. They're going to get shot. Blaming the mayor. Blaming the mayor. Blaming the mayor. Blaming the chief of police. What you blaming them for when you know who did it? Unbelievable what's going on in Shreveport. Unbelievable what's going on in Shreveport. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Just as soon as I can sit down to work on one story of a shooting, Mr. Scott, before Chief Ben Raymond in Shreveport and Mayor Perkins can deal with the shootings from yesterday, 3 more land on their desks. And they're to blame because they haven't caught anybody. Well, they can't catch who they don't know did it. If you know something, say something. If you want the reward money, listen, you're going to get a code. They're going to give you enough. You don't have to give your name. You will get that money if you're that scary. But there are many ways to let the police know John did that. John did that. John needs to be locked up. This is my city. I grew up in Shreveport, down in the bottoms, on Travis Street, 905W. I love my city. I love it. But I talk about it's wrong all day long. When it's wrong, it's wrong. And when it's right, it's right. You'll get killed by a stray bullet, and you're not the intended target before you will get killed from coronavirus in Shreveport, Louisiana. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. Okay. I'm running out of time. The coronavirus is on the rise. On the rise by the hour. Today, there are over 156,000 people dead from the coronavirus. A pandemic. They're dead. I want you, if you hadn't heard, I'm going to tell you some of the things that Donald Duck said just recently about the coronavirus and the people in the United States. Keep in mind, we are the 4th worst performing country when it comes to addressing COVID-19, United States. When Donald Duck was being interviewed about the virus, here's what Donald Duck said. The reporter repeated it, not as if he, did he really say this? He repeated it to let Donald Duck know, that's super stupid. Even that don't make no sense. Is what he said. When it comes to the number of infections and deaths in the United States, we're lower than the world. Excuse me. I repeat it so you all won't think I messed up. We're lower than the world. Another comment. We have the virus under control. The reporter says, but Mr. President, there are over 156,000 people dead in the United States from the coronavirus. Donald Duck responds, it is what it is. Lisa Fleming just said it. It is what it is. That's what he said. And that's what Donald Duck said. The Centers for Disease Control today, speaking about a new virus, a new outbreak of a rare, life-threatening condition affecting children. It will happen between August and November. Its last peak occurrence was in 2018. 238 cases were reported to the Centers for Disease Control. While rare, Ms. Thomas, you are more than welcome. Love you big time. While rare, it's the Centers for Disease Control. Parents and doctors should be vigilant to recognize symptoms of this virus because it progresses quickly over the course of hours and days, leading to permanent paralysis or life-threatening respiratory failure in previously healthy patients. Now, you still want to talk about kids inside of a classroom. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. Mississippi, a little while ago, mandated face masks must now be worn. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. A vaccine. I think the company's name is Novavax. Says it's getting the vaccine ready. Not to cure, but to treat. Researchers have begun enrolling people in the United States. They already have over 30,000 volunteers to test this new vaccine. The company has set a goal of delivering 300 million doses of a safe, effective vaccine by January 2021. You know, it take years. It take years, sometimes decades, to create a vaccine. But now we have manufactured a vaccine in a microwave form. Simply put, we did it overnight. B. Morris, I thank you so much. I love you big time. And so it's safe, it's effective. I want you to line up. I want you to get ready to take it. Don't take the vaccine. But the company that's putting this out, after they broke the news, oh my Jesus, their stocks dropped by at least 32%. How? Shouldn't the vaccine have, but it, okay. We have two stories that I have to get to before we get out of here because both of them have really upset me. I think I have enough time. God, I pray. I'm gonna play a video for you, a little audio clip I want you to listen to. It's a 911 call. In Colorado, at a Safeway store, an employee went to a manager and said that there was a black man sitting inside of a silver Cadillac holding a gun. Keep in mind, in Colorado, it is not a crime to possess a firearm in your car. It's not. But the manager called the police. And the police came. Now, this is a black family. When the police came, again, they were told that there was a black man sitting inside of a Cadillac holding a gun. Okay, when the police came, there were 3 children inside of the vehicle. The Cadillac silver, there's no tint on not one window. You can see inside as well as out. When someone buzzed in, I lost the video. But anyway, it's on my page, Injustice Investigation News, a 911 call. So when the police arrived, there was a little black girl sitting in the seat. When the police arrived, the doors on the Cadillac were open. Good evening, Mr. They were open. The driver walked into the store. He doesn't know what's going on, but his car has been surrounded with police officers. They have guns at his stepdaughter's heads. There's no body cam footage because for whatever reason, the police chose not to activate them. Well, to God be the glory. Somebody said, to God be the glory. Safeway has its own surveillance cameras. And it caught the Cadillac on every angle. Every angle. So a customer tells the driver that police have your car surrounded, have your girls at gunpoint. He comes out immediately. And he's pissed. He don't know what's going on. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. We were told you had a gun in that car, and that's why we're here. Say, put your hand behind your back. And he's trying to explain to me, I have nothing. We're grocery shopping. That's what we're doing. Well, it lasted about 2 minutes before after they handcuffed him, they took the handcuffs off. Well, somebody called, said blase, blase. Well, if the law says that it is not a crime to sit in your vehicle holding your gun, why in the hell y'all show up? So, had that occurred? No. It was a lie. I wanted you to hear the 911 recording, and it's on Injustice Investigations Facebook page. You can listen there because the manager does call the police. She called the police. And when she's speaking to the police, she's speaking to them as if she believed what the customer said. It's a Cadillac, silver Cadillac, blah, 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 blah. Yes, got a gun, holding it. She didn't say her legs. Her tone, the way she was telling the event, told me she believed the woman. I don't know if the woman was white or black, but she believed it. Don't stop there. He has an attorney. Him and the attorney debated back and forth. The brother did not want to file a lawsuit. It was over and done with. He was angry about it, especially having his stepdaughters held at gunpoint for no reason by cops that are trigger happy. You can also sometimes accidentally drop a gun and it goes off. Accidentally pull the trigger and it goes off. They could have been dead. He don't want to sue. He's through with it. Okay, let me send him a letter and ask him to respond to this. I want you all to respond to this by Friday, July 10th. Talk to the police department. I want you to respond to this because I don't want to sue you. I don't want to go in federal court with you. Well, now remember, he don't want to sue. On Monday, July 13th, they responded. It might be freezing. They responded. Okay. The response that he received irked me to the fullest. What's up, the real news behind the news, Mr. Robert R. Thomas Jr. himself, sir. I humbly bow to you. I love you big time, brother. We'll talk after the show, I know. Okay, here's Colorado Police Department response to the black man who doesn't want to sue them, but he wants an explanation for what happened. Here's what they tell him in the letter. Hold up. They said, go ahead and file in federal court. We'll see you there. His daughters, age 14 and 7, was so terrified, they wet their pants. And now they're seeking psychological treatment from being traumatized. They said, go ahead and file in court. So let's just read between the lines. I'm going to hold you about another 5 minutes longer. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Now, what that says is that I don't give a damn about you. I don't give a damn about your daughters. I don't give a damn about a lawsuit because I am the law. I have power, and I got power in the federal court. Waste your money and time if you want to. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to offer no apology. My officers did nothing wrong. They drew down on those black girls because they had to. They were a threat to society. So that's why they drew down on him. They handcuffed him because they were told he had a gun. But I don't want your apology. I wouldn't accept it. I am fed up with police departments apologizing. I'm fed up with police departments apologizing for something that, given a chance, they will do tomorrow again, right about the same time. I'm sick of people apologizing because they got caught. I'm sick of the police department apologizing because they know it's the right thing to do because you don't want another protest. But they will do it again at the drop of a dime. Cops, criminals on patrol. Cops, criminals on patrol. We're drawing down on babies. Spending time, I think Colorado needs some action. I totally agree with you on that. There's Tanya Fire. Good evening to you, Tanya. I love you big time. Quickly, before we go, Aurora Police Department drew down on a family. They took the black children out of the car. It's hot. They are face down. They're face down on the ground where it's hot at. They're crying. Mama, mama, help. Shut up. Don't move. Be still. This car was reported stolen that you drive. It wasn't. It wasn't. And before I go a little further, a female in the car, I'm pregnant. I can't put my hands up. I'm holding my baby and I'm pregnant. I don't give a fuck. Do what the fuck I tell you to do. Then once they go up there and the kids come out, people are pissed to see children. They're like, can I get your kids? Send them to me. The lady again is trying to tell him about her being pregnant. I don't give a fuck about that. You do what I tell you to do. Oh, did I mention all these kids were handcuffed? Well, they were. Now, was it a stolen vehicle? I just told you. No, it was a car. It was a car. It was a car. It was a car. C-A-R. It was a car. But there was a vehicle reported stolen. Wait a minute. Not vehicle, Mr. Sky. A motorcycle. Goddamn, really, dude? A fucking motorcycle. You can a motorcycle. Let me say this. I don't like to cuss. I don't like to get angry. I get too involved, but I'm pissed. I'm mad when the powers that be try to pass the buck, so to say. Well, we need to do better with training them in the academy. And I will say this until the day I die. Your problem is not in the academy. Your problem is with who you sit and choose to give a badge and a gun to. You cannot teach them nothing in the academy that will cause them not to do that because they have a deranged, diabolical mind. So it's not in the academy again. It's in who you choose to give a badge and a gun to. This is out of control. This is out of control. We're drawing down on children now. We're drawing down on black children, but you're not drawing down on children of white people. Which fathers let me know it's not in the academy. It's in the individual. As simple as that. It's as simple as that. And then you have the audacity to apologize. You can keep that apology. Because given a chance, you'll do it again. If that don't make y'all pissed tonight, nothing will. If that don't get you pissed off, nothing will. I have a granddaughter. Heaven bagging me up. I would go to jail. I would kill her. I would. You got my granddaughter on the hot pavement, handcuffed with a gun pointed at her. Do you know do you know that's mine? You didn't know what you do now. I'll deal with the consequences later because I love mine. Nothing is working. Nothing is working. Y'all can stop protesting. Y'all can go home and sit down. Incidentally, because you also help them spread the coronavirus, go somewhere and sit down. Protests are not working. We're still trying to use old methods on new tricks. And I'm tired of singing that old Negro spiritual. I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain. Lord, I know a change gonna come. When will a change come? A change won't come until we become that change that we're talking about. They got to get it right. The police department, they're not going to do it. Our government, they're not going to do it. So who's going to fix it? Me and you. We're going to fix it. It's sad when I have to protest, beg, scream, kick, fall out, lay out, just to get law enforcement and our leaders to do the job that they were hired to do in the first place. Until the day I die, I'll be looked at as nothing but 3/5 of a human. Now, if you want to go a little further, a nigger. And we're going to go, if black police officers had been doing to white kids as it's being done to black kids, it would not have lasted this long. I've said it a million times and I'm going to say it again. It's time for some returning of the badges and returning of the guns. Give them a damn bolo back. I don't care. I don't care. We're protesting against police brutality, racial profile. And then I got a jackass sitting in the White House stirring up the military to put the military against the people. Do you not understand why we're out here? Do you not understand why Kaepernick? Do you not understand this? You're creating a problem to try and fix a problem, but you don't care because you are that problem. The same things we're protesting against. Donald Duck keeps going. I gotta go. I didn't mean to keep you all. Yes, I did. 1 by 8 minutes. Now I was late coming on anyway. Listen, I love you all. Be the Lord willing. We will do this again tomorrow. Be the change you're looking for. Love your children. Hold your children. Do not send your children back to school unless you're ready for some sad singing and some slow driving. Shreveport, Louisiana, we got to do better. We must do better. We have to do better. This is our problem. It's not the police department problem. It's our problem because it's black on black crime that not many want to address. But I'm going to address it. And I meant what I said. Every neighborhood, Shreveport, I'm coming. I'm just going to be walking around talking to people. I'm tired and I'm fed up. Not another damn funeral. Not another one. Not another one. I'm Al Scott with Injustice Investigations. Be it the Lord willing, we will see you all tomorrow night. Y'all have a good one.